TNL, once again, Tuesday night live streams on the Emceemur show, and as we have discussed on the review vid and on social media abound, this week's stream we're going to be taking a look at live gameplay on this hot new brew for the Nintendo Entertainment System, which we are actually playing on an original piece of hardware here, ROLLIE the Raccoon. And he doesn't mess around. And he doesn't take prisoners, and he's tough as nails. And I'm having fun with this thing, as you probably saw if you watched the review, and I hope you did. And if you haven't, I urge you to go back and look at the recap. Tyler Mason has joined us. Welcome, Big Ty. Hey! We're going to get some ROLLIE going. We should be joined by the creator of ROLLIE tonight. Again, I want to thank Optovania for giving us a shot at reviewing this game. We're joined by Maniac Gaming. Welcome, Mainly. Great to have you aboard. We're going to continue from where I left off. Gotta love the password only being 4 characters long. I'm on stage 7 on this game so far. There's 16 total. And it does start to get a little tougher here. And, you know, as we talked about in the review, a run-of-the-mill platformer, this is not. This really has some neat properties to it, while keeping it simple. And then yet it doesn't. Like, I mean, look at this thing. Gophers mimicking my movements. The game gets brutal at times, but never to a point that you can't handle. You just gotta kind of weigh out your situations and decide what's best for ROLLIE at that moment. And you know, he's got everything. This has everything. He's got a whole bar full of equipment. He's got a power meter, so it's not, you know, one-hit insta-deaths. Not knocking any game that has that. I'm just saying there's a strategy involved here, and it allows you to work. It allows you to work and conserve energy. It allows you to, you know, conserve your resources and really strategize on what you're going to do with a boss once you get to it. That was a bogus bubble right there. Well, I guess we're going up here. Bulaga! Right in the nose with an apple. Carlos has joined us. Welcome, Carlos. The blue enemies are a little tougher. Once you get into the later stages, they can take 2 wallops on the head before they take a dive. And then at the end of every stage, and here's the halfway point. It's good to hit that early on. You got a mini-boss, which is, you know, an enemy that you've seen before, but it'll be a different color, it'll be hyper tough, and it'll usually have an ability that's not normal for that enemy. And oh my goodness, that was close. This is a tough level, man. The game's not a slouch. I mean, it doesn't really hold your hand or anything. And I don't want it to, and I also don't want it to be ball-breakingly hard either, to the point where you're just like, oh my god, this is beyond my skill set. You know, this is some Mega Power stuff. Well, I just doinked it. Good thing we hit the halfway point. And the lives are important, because you don't have to continue and start over from the beginning again, and lose your oomph. You know, you want to get it done the first round. But yeah, I mean, it's a really neat balance. And we're going to talk about how it achieves that today. We talked a little bit about what was going on in the review, and I'm going to kind of expand on that a little bit. Well, you don't want to tangle with those guys. The largest guns in the gaming industry have joined us. Welcome back in the day, Gamer, to the scene. Carlos, we are actually playing this on a Nintendo Entertainment System, upscaled to HD. So we are playing on original equipment. This is an original cartridge, which, you know, this game is available as a ROM. You don't have to go for a physical copy if you don't want to. Or if, you know, if you're just unable to make use of it. But I definitely wanted the cartridge and to go that route because that just feels right. That's an option. It's a beautiful cartridge if you saw the review. Really cool. Triple J, J-Town James Jonan is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Just in time to see me jump on a bubble. And ducks are shifty, man. If you get a duck, you're doing good, but can't trust it. They run out on you. Dadgummit, I didn't want to take another hit. You know, what gets me about this game is the color palette. And I mean that in a good way. I mean that... Oh, God. Okay, let's get this duck and then we'll talk color palettes. Oh, God, I didn't get him. I gotta get a duck. This color palette does a lot with what it has. Oh, we got a duck. But it manages not to go overboard, as in, like, say, something from 93 or 94, like something in the last few years of the NES's life. It maintains the look of something from the mid to late 80s, and that's what I love about it. It's authentic in its nature, and therefore it creates this feeling, this sense of this game's always existed, and this is something I loved when I was a kid, but it's not. It's brand new. But that's neat how it did that for me, and that's just something I wanted to share. It also doesn't not remind me of certain platformers I played on the Commodore 64. Now, it's prettier than that, but in its build, it manages to, again, almost have that look to it. Oh, I got cheaped out on that. That hit him. Oh, he's on to me. He's on to me. See, this boss right here, he mimics what you do. And I'm not quite sure how to shake him yet. Just replaced by NES, my old one crapped out. I guess they will do that eventually. I'm working on one right now that I cannot get the cartridge slot to line up right for some reason. And nothing's broken in it that I can see, but it's almost like a crunch sound when you put in a cart to test it. It totally works. I can take the receptacle out and just stick a cart in it, and I'm playing on it with a test game, but I cannot figure out why it's not lining up right. It doesn't look any different than I've ever seen. I just cannot fix this thing. And I don't want to give up on it, because that's not my style. Now see, here's what you get into, because... I botched that. You don't want to get to this boss with limited health, if you can help it. Oh, I doinked it. I doinkarooed it. There's going to be some doinking. Again, this is level 7. I don't want you to think I just started the game. We're a ways into the game here. Almost halfway through it. I'm already getting tore up. I hit the wrong duck. Are you seeing this? That was a risk I didn't have to take. That was foolish. You do have a little bit of a timer going, not unlike a Mario game. It's not been a problem for me yet, though. I mean, I can see wanting to take your time in some instances and try to strategize your next move. Dadgum snake! I doinked it. But we can always continue. Again, we should be joined by the creator of this game tonight for a little Q&A. And, you know, I'm sure some of you have some questions for him as to what all went on in the creation of this. And I have some questions in regards to what's next. Because having played this, I can tell you I would certainly be interested in future projects. I mean, this is solid. Speaking of Optimon, there he is. Creator of Raleigh the Raccoon. Welcome to TNL. And welcome to me jumping horribly on a bubble, and now the squirrel's farting at me, and I shouldn't be letting him do that. Okay, now we're up. So, Optimon is here, so any of you guys that watched the review, or even if you didn't, if you're just looking at this now, any questions you may have about this program, you may now direct to him. And again, I am certainly interested in what's next on the agenda And it may be a little early to ask because, again, the Kickstarter for Raleigh just ended on the 30th, and it will be available on the website. And all of the links to that information are in the description of not only the review video, but in this live stream as well. So you can find out how to get your copy of Raleigh the Dadgum Raccoon. I don't know why I don't just roll through here, but that's why. God almighty, Raleigh. Getting schooled at some Raleigh over here. Oh, I'm out of bubbles. That is not where you want to be. Oh, but we'll take that. Alright, I'm out of bubbles. Yeah, it's nicely done. And again, a physical copy of this is just gorgeous. Shelf candy of the highest regard. And as I said in the review, I'm a sucker for the see-through cases and different colors, whatever they may come in. Blue, green, smoked, red, you name it. You know, I paid extra for a blue EverDrive just because it's blue, it's got a light in it, it looks tight. It makes me happy when I open the door and it's there. Where does the name Raleigh come from? That's a good question. And I was wondering, maybe could it be ROLLIE? Although that would not make sense with two consonants following a vowel and that being a long vowel sound. But he does roll. He's got the whole Sonic thing going. And that's totally optional. It was the name of the guy at Home Depot that didn't mess up my paint. Wow. I too recently had a good Home Depot paint experience. And you can have some pretty bad experiences at Home Depot, but my paint experience was a good one. Every once in a while you find some good help out there. A birthday cake. That's exactly what we needed. The birthday cake means it's birthday time. Time for a party. It basically means Raleigh will charm the pants off an enemy. There we go, riding that bubble fart. Oh, and we got another one. I'm still taking hits though. A hot dog. We're a lean, mean hot dogging machine now. Look at this. I wanted the duck though. You got far. Did you enter a password? I got this far just playing, and I entered the password to start the stream, because we saw some of the earlier stages in the review. We're in stage 7 right now. Of course, you probably know that. And I'm dead. And I just wanted to see how much further we could get. I used his name as an appropriate name for my character that I was thinking of a name for. Well, it fits. I mean, he's an instant fave. If you were doing Raleigh t-shirts, Raleigh hats, I would not be opposed to rocking one of those. Because he's one of them characters that's just like, you know, you kind of instantly like him. And there's a girl raccoon too for player 2, and I like that it's not just a different colored Raleigh, it's its own character. I can't remember her name right off the top of my head. Oh, I had the dadgum duck and you let go! Not cool, duck. But yeah, they make a great little combo. And you know, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't even really that all into Sonic when he came out. I was like, because, you know, I'm from the old school. Sega, you know, Opa, Alex Kidd, that was it for me. So when Sonic came along, I was like, you can't just change mascots on me. That's not okay. Lori, okay, got you. And stop me if you've already thought of this one, but there could be a sequel. And I'm sitting there telling you about this as I'm dying, like a fool. Raleigh and Lori, if they're not already siblings, can mate and have a next generation of raccoons. And then we've got our protagonist for the next chapter. How awesome is that? ROLLIE 2, The Reckoning. ROLLIE 2, Revengeance. The Inception of Reemergence. Every sequel's gotta have a name like that. Oh, I got him. I really gotta get up on my duck game, man. I don't do very well with the ducks. And they're a necessary evil. I mean, they're this enemy that you just have to have. You've got to make use of these things. At some point, you need a duck. Oh my god. Ronald did it. The game looks gorgeous. Is it all new assets? Yeah, as far as I know, this is fresh right here. I mean, this is its own property, its own thing, and we do a lot of looks on the show live at hacks and homebrews and stuff that obviously aren't official. They're a lot less glamorous than this. I mean, and they're still fun. They're still neat to take a look at. It's somebody's creation, but yeah, I mean, this being its own thing, and it's just, oh, we got the super jump ROLLIE going on. Look at this. We're robbing a boop. What a, oh, and he got a duck too. Oh my god, ROLLIE for VIP. Double J Jason Joseph has joined us. We got Triple J and Double J in the house. When is the Master System version coming? OS took my advice, I see, and he's allowing a cardboard cutout of himself to stream Afterburner on his channel. I'll never forget figuring out that worked when I was a kid and just watching that plane fly all of its way through the game. And I was like, what? I said, well, I'm going to stick this thing under my closet door and I'm going to go make a sandwich. All right. Oh, God, he's tough. Sega CD Universe is here. Welcome, SCDU. To this special edition of Tuesday Night Livestreams, we are playing ROLLIE on the Nintendo Entertainment System. And again, for those of you that have just joined us that may have had a similar question, we are playing on an original NES, of course, upscaled to HD. Optomon, the creator of this game, is here in the chat to answer any questions you may have about this delicious product, and the links to find out where you can own this product are in the description of this video, as well as the description of the review we did, which was tons of fun. Because, you know, looking at it for the first time, I was like, okay, here we go. Okay, you know, let's go. We're going through a few stages here, and it's pushing back. There's no level that's really a slouch or, you know, let you off easy. But you start getting to know what ROLLIE can do besides, you know, just walking around and jumping. He's eating hot dogs. He's shooting bubbles out. He's throwing raccoon turds at people. And he's just taking care of business. The Pixel Game Squad is in the house. Welcome, PGS. I was watching some of that today, as a matter of fact. Always blown away by Pixel Game Squad's production. And just, what a show. Great to have you guys on the scene. You are in time to watch some live gameplay of ROLLIE the frickin' Raccoon and me fall. Look at me going right down the hole. What a gaffoon. What did I do? ROLLIE 2, Take No Prisoners Revisited, Revengeance. Inception. Oh, I need that. Okay, there we go. There's only one, but every bullet counts. So we got to stop wasting them on... I feel like my bullets are my only chance to get through this boss. And I've got to hyper shoot them. And you know, some of these stronger enemies, especially like the blue snakes, the blue squirrels, the ones that take a few extra hits, they will usually gift you a little something. Like an ice cream cone. Oh, I wanted that duck and I didn't get it. There we go. No, 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 why did he let go of the duck? Why did he let go of the duck? Gamers Manuel is here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome Manny to Tuesday Night Live Streams. Enjoying what we're seeing here so far. Getting my butt kicked on ROLLIE, and it's okay because we have this clever 4-character passcode to get us right back in. And as I talked about in the review, and you know, what it really said to me was, this is the game. You know, thinking of people like the Mega Powers and people in our network that really kick the balls off of these 8-bit games so good. You know, I can play. I've never been a great gamer. I've just been a gamer a long time. But these guys are on top of their game. And I see a game like this, and immediately I think, okay, well, here's a game that requires a very unique set of skills based on a very unique set of abilities, and, you know, hand mapped out levels that are just gorgeous. So here is a game that's a speedrunner's delight. And the fact that you can punch those numbers in and just go to any level you want and work on your own personal bests is really cool. Now, obviously, I'm still trying to make my way through the whole game, so I don't have any business in that department yet. But again, this is a game that everybody collectively in our network and beyond can be playing, enjoying together, sharing secrets, tidbits, tricks. And, you know, there's always going to be variants to the playthroughs because there's variants in the power-ups and where they're located, and whether or not you're balls off enough to get them. Optimon, did you use the NES Maker? I did not use the Game Maker. It was coded entirely from scratch. And, you know, I really dug how you were posting pictures of the maps hand-drawn on paper. No Mario Maker stuff. You drew this out. And, I mean, that's just intense. I mean, that even harkens back to an age of... I mean, it just makes me think of drawing maps and RPGs and stuff like that. I mean, there's from scratch, and then there's from scratch. And I think some of the best ideas in history, you know, not just gaming, I mean, everything abroad, come from a birthday cake. Come from ideas that original. I'm getting tore up here. I've shifted into a snake. I'm getting skint to the bone. A snake is riding a duck right now. Everybody just hold on to that thought. You know what? We're going to drop right here. Whoa, the snake. And now we have a long jumping snake. And now he turned back into ROLLIE. Big jump. And he gets the duck. I love that marathon jump, and he pulls the duck off. For some reason, so much easier with that. Ooh, that was close. It's boss fight time. It's boss fight time, and I'm not ready. Oh, and the fight hadn't started. I didn't get credit for those hits, and I'm out. Wow. Wow right now, ROLLIE. Alright, so halfway point. I'm going to spend the whole hour trying to get through this stage. I won't do that either. We will start over and look at other parts of the game. I don't want to do you like that and make you watch the same level for an hour straight. We're supposed to be showcasing this thing here. If I can't get through this on this set of lives, then we're going to go back to the beginning and just take a look at some of the play on some of the earlier levels. Because, you know, you got big boss fights too, not just the mini bosses. They've got their own set of stages. Oh, come on. The bubble took my duck. This game almost had a water level with fish, but I had to cut it. I don't know whether I'm disappointed or grateful. That'd be something for the sequel, but yeah. This game's got plenty of challenges for the stages it does have. I see that Wild Boy has joined us. Welcome, WB. You're in time to see me really get torn up in some ROLLIE. I got 4 hearts left. Buckle down, ROLLIE. We're counting on you. Oh, yeah, I got the stomp the ground, ROLLIE. No! I'm not clear on how he lets go of the duck. I must be hitting a button and then he does it. Sometimes it seems like it just happens, but I'm probably hitting the... If you hit the B button, he will detach. And I think that's what I did. He's just staring there. The director's cut of ROLLIE. And it's like, I want to conserve my energy and just use some bullets to take out some of those mimicking enemies. But then the bullets, I feel like, are my only shot against the boss. I mean, sometimes I feel like if you have the bubbles, you're better off just cutting the duck. I believe the down button also detects... Okay, good intel. I bet you that's probably what I was doing the times I thought I wasn't hitting a button. So you got to just do that A tap when you're on that duck and not doink yourself. A bullet, but only one bullet. Oh yeah, here we go. Ugh. Get you some, squirrel. Rollie's hulking up. He's going all Dr. David Banner in here on some ducks. Ah, look at him making me triple tap him with that bullet there. He ain't playing. Oh, God. And then the rabbit. I don't want nothing to do with you, rabbit. You got to get close enough to trigger him to start coming. Ah, and there he goes. I just don't know what I'm doing wrong there. I can't shake him. And I have a feeling like the bubbles have got to play a part in that because he can't do the bubbles. That's the one thing he can't mimic. So if I'm doing the bubbles, I can get up above him and drop bows on him. But that's got to happen first. And he's so fast, you don't have time to pop a bubble out. God, you just have to take a hit there. If you push B when you're rolling, you can perform an attack. And maybe that's what I'm not doing. But he's definitely getting the best of me. Whoop. It is effective on this boss. Good intel once again. We've got the best of intel here coming straight from the source. So this is it. This is going to be the boss fight right here. The one that concludes everything. The one that makes ROLLIE history. At least as far as my personal playthroughs. I like he can jump up there and snag the ladder. A lot of great physics for a game like this. And you know, again, it's got that polish that those late 80s games, some of them did not have. But it maintains the look and feel of something from that era, which to me and to many of you was the best era for games like this. And it's how you want them to look. That was pretty fancy. Here he goes. No, and I'm out of bubbles! Alright, well. I feel like I did more damage there than I've ever done to him. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off from the beginning. I've got my passcode. I can always go back. Let's just take a look through the earlier stages and just enjoy those. And in the earlier stages, you can be a little bit more liberal with your application of your resources because you're going to get more. The enemies aren't as tough, obviously. Goblin 215 is in the house. Welcome, Goblin. Great to have you on the scene, sir. And you are in time to witness some live gameplay of ROLLIE the Raccoon. The creator is here with us in the stream. ROLLIE does the whole Samus Marumari sphere maneuver there and rolls through the tiny tunnels. That's cool. Looks good, feels good. Get your butt in there, Rollie. And I like that the raccoon turds do a ricochet. Oh, he left me a present. Look at all them bullets. Boy, I could have wrapped that up and mailed it to about 3 minutes ago. I could have used all that. I was really getting the rhythm of throwing them quickly. I like that the music hits some really interesting riffs. It's got the beat, but it also, you know, it's not predictable what note's coming next. It's an inventive soundtrack. Wadaga! Oh, Rollie's just tearing up the universe here. Oh, he got a hot dog. These animals don't know about Rollie when he gets a hot dog. There ain't nothing they can do. A hot dog can be quite empowering with the right toppings. I like brisket and then some a good hearty slaw. And it should be my slaw if it's available, because I make some of the best. Someone else can smoke the brisket if they want. Alright, boss fight. Or is it? No, this is just a fox that happens to be hanging out. Here we go. See ya. Flowers give you items and power-ups. They do, and it's really neat to see what you get, because it's a crapshoot every time. The Oak City Gamers have joined us. Welcome, OCG. Great to have you guys in the stream tonight. Really getting a great turnout tonight. I'm glad you guys come out to see this, because this is really neat stuff. And what's more, it's neat stuff that you can play in the comfort of your very own home. Building up some extra ROLLIEs is not a bad idea, too. I probably would benefit from just playing through it again and sharpening my skills, because I'm obviously not all that. I went off half-cocked in level 7 like I was just going to bounce back in there and drop bows on some animals, and it just wasn't happening. Bubbles. That is just rubbing their face in it. They're groveling in their waste products at the very might of Rollie the raccoon. The real king of the jungle. You get the blue and he does these long jumps. And one power-up you haven't seen yet, he turns green. And wherever he jumps, he can stay at that level and just float. Halfway point. Grumpy Driver has joined us. Welcome, Grumpy. You were in time to see some Rollie action played right here on the Emceemur show. Again, playing this on the original NES, upscaled, so we're doing it the way God intended. I'm not an anti-emulation guy, I'm really not. But there again, if you're going to do something like this that's going to hit you in the old nostalgia feels, it is kind of fun to just go ahead and play it on original hardware, old school, get the whole feeling of sliding the cartridge in. A donation from Double J Jason Joseph. Thank you, sir, for keeping the lights on here at the Emceemur show in Murray Sound Studios. And the lights aren't cheap. I've got a lot of them. Neither is air conditioning. I like the game room at a frosty 67. Brian's Man Cave is here. Welcome, BMC. Brian plays some really cool stuff on his channel. That's a channel I also really enjoy. He does some Commodore and Amiga and just stuff that's off the beaten path, but totally on my path. But you are in time to see me headbutt a rabbit and move on to the next stage. We'll probably be back at 7 pretty soon. Way to go, Raleigh. Woo, woo, woo. So you get your 4 character pass code. Fall will come to Georgia. I'm telling you, man, we're setting records down here. Almanac's blowing up. I ain't even about any of that. I ain't about that. Even being from South Miami, I'm not about that. I'm ready to move to Montana. C64, NES, and television, and Atari is my game. Absolutely. I'm really collecting heavily for the 2600 still, and was really tickled at the At Games collection they did. The 3rd volume of the Atari Flashback Classics for all current gen consoles. Having the 5200 games on it was just like, what? You know, I don't do reaction videos, but maybe I should, because when I saw that, I did literally fall out of my chair. And I was not streaming. I was like, dadgummit, that had been a great reaction vid. I was like, what happened right now? I'm playing Countermeasure for the first time in 30-something years on my PS4. Somebody pinch me, please. That cannot be real. Oh, and I get him. See, it's great when the duck has to fall on something. You know you're going to get him. 5200 is so exotic, and I'm sure there's a whole horde of people that just don't get nostalgic for that. But coming up in the mid-80s, my neighbor had one, and I gamed with him constantly. We were inseparable, and as a result of that, a lot of my teeth were cut on that console, and versions of games that were on other consoles, but just playing the 5200 versions, like, you know, Kangaroo was a big one for me. Love Kangaroo. I charmed the snake. When he starts farting hearts, you can charm the enemies. And Raleigh is a bit of a shapeshifter, so he's kind of like a were-raccoon. Ba-boom. Yeah, played a lot of Commodore 64. I'll say again, the links to the information for this game are in the description of not only this stream, but also in the review vid that I did. And I urge you to check that out if you didn't see it. But this is cool. You know, we reviewed Netscape recently from Kevin Hanley, and I was really tickled to see that too. Also, an absolutely beautiful cartridge, and a really cool and unique game and concept. Also really neat to add to the collection. So yeah, I mean, case in point, it's just fantastic that new games can come out for the NES, which I think is by and large the main system everybody is, you know, nostalgic for in the larger part of the Venn diagram of retro gaming, and that we can purchase them, you know, and it's something that everybody, Raleigh, come on now, for God's sake, Raleigh, wants to get behind and would like to see more of. So again, my question for Optimon is what's next? And I know it may be a little early to ask that because Raleigh's just rolling off the conveyor belt right now. But are we going to see a Raleigh sequel? And do you have other game concepts lined up? Maybe in this genre, maybe in other genres planned for the future. There were really no genres of 8-bit games I didn't play. And I think that goes for almost everybody that I network with on here, and, you know, just randos that I've just met in passing in some of these videos. The 8-bit experience transcends every genre. Now, there may be people that don't want to get down with some Nobunaga's Ambition or something like that. They just want, you know, maybe that's a little too slow moving for them and would rather just keep it to action. But as far as, you know, if you... It's hard to say what we consider an RPG, because Zelda technically by the numbers isn't one, but yet it is. But, you know, all your action games, platformers, you got your racers, you got your sports, everybody can get down with just about anything. Oh, let's see, he can get up on top of there. I figured that out and thought that was really neat. Felt like Mario, like any second I was going to find some warp pipes. Not to mention any enemy flying up's getting stomped. Raleigh wants a Libs patty melt and a chocolate milk. I could go for that right now. I'm thinking another different NES game. I wish I knew what was next. And it's okay, you know, if this idea came to you, then something's going to come to you. But I gotta tell you, even not having completed this game, a sequel wouldn't hurt. And maybe that's not the next thing you do, but I mean, here, I'm sitting here talking like I know what to tell you to do, but it's just exciting, that's all. But yeah, at some point, a sequel to this would be awesome. Oh, God! Wadaga! And the big lizard hits the mat! Is it coming out on other systems? You can get this in a ROM format. You can get a digital copy and play it. So, or if there's physical versions for other, I don't know, but as hot as this is, definitely something bigger in scale and with some other people on the project. Yeah, I could see this showing up on an eShop eventually. I mean, all the indie stuff that shows up, and I don't even classify this as indie. Indie almost ends up kind of being a dirty word to me sometimes, because some indie games, they're just half-baked, God help them. And this is not. This is fully cooked, piping hot, and ready to dive into. So I could totally see this hitting eShops, hitting PSN digitally, and gaining a cult following because it's just frickin' fun and it has a memorable character. Like Steam, and yeah, there you go. Absolutely. I've almost got back to where I was. It's just that dadgum squirrel was kicking my bahonkus. Very Mario 3-ish. Yeah, and when you think about it, Mario 3 gave birth to a lot of interesting items that he didn't already have to mess with. So you kind of had Mario and some new utilities there. You had one that really sticks out is the shoe when he puts the Goomba boot on and he's stomping all the piranha plants. I mean, and we all know you didn't have to do every level in Mario 3, but I hated to miss any of them because they were such masterpieces. The music was so great, and it's like, God, I don't even want to do a warp whistle, you know, and I'm dead. God, what did I do that for? You know, you'd want to go to level 3 and see the water, you want to put the frog suit on, you want to do the whole thing. There's no good reason not to port it to other mediums, as much availability as possible. Not everyone owns an NES or emulator. And the good news is even though not everyone does, I think a lot of people do at this point, as far as the retro community, as far as the bigger demographic for a product like this. And if they don't, they definitely have the means to affordably and do it soon. There are so many systems now, clone systems, and, you know, compatibility may be an issue where that's concerned. I don't know. It just depends on which one it is. But yeah, you know, God, I'm tripping over NESs at yard sales half the time, so it's just one of those things that gets branded, oh, it's pretty rare, it's rare, it's rare, it's really rare. It's not rare, man. Everybody had them. It might be rare to find one now that someone's actually selling for a price they didn't look up on eBay, but you can find one. Again, I'm repairing one right now that I'll eventually let go. So, but yeah, the you know, optimally, this shows up on the Switch eShop, and the love it would be getting is just infinite. That's like the place for indie gaming. I got a duck. And see, you almost want to just take your hand off the D-pad, but you got to make him fly, but you got to keep it on that upward spin so you don't accidentally let go of the duck's feet. Giant war. Yeah, oh my God. 3 was just, there was so much hype surrounding 3. And by that, I mean going to see the Wizard movie on opening night. Not because it was going to be a good movie, because it wasn't. Because you wanted to get a glimpse of that game. That was a 2-hour cinematic game reveal. That was like the first Nintendo Direct, if you really want to get technical about it, my dudes. It was. And I can remember being dropped off with that same friend with the 5200. His mother dropped us off at the mall the night that went live. just so we could go see it. And it's such a different world now. I would never drop my kids off at the movies and I'll be back to get you later. Yeah, they won't be there. But it's funny how parents, they just let us run loose back then, and you just were getting into all kind of stuff. But yeah, we watched the whole movie, and yeah, I remember it all because I've seen it since. But at that moment, the only thing that mattered was Mario 3 and seeing that footage. And when dude announces Super Mario Brothers 3, oh my god. It was like seeing 15 Showcase Showdown prizes at once. It was just like, oh my god. We're going to have this on our home soon. Legend has it Billy Mitchell had a perfect score on Raleigh. You know, now that you mention that, I would like to see that happen. I watch Billy regularly on Twitch streams. And, I mean, dude can play, obviously. And again, what I was talking about earlier is that I'm not a great gamer, I'm just an experienced one. I've obviously been in the game since early 80s. But somebody that's just got the skills, these speedrunning guys, these guys that just walk on water when it comes to these games, it would be really interesting to see how they perform under the pressure this game puts out, albeit balanced pressure. But still, it pushes back just enough to where, you know, there's a lot of different strategies you can employ. And do fun runs with, like, you know, Raleigh with no raccoon turds, or Raleigh with no bubbles, or different, you know, I saw, might have been AVGN, somebody doing a Contra run with no shots fired or something, or Super C or something weird. I don't know. I don't even know how that's possible, but people get into all fun variations of ways to play games like this. Once you've beat it, you still haven't technically done everything that you can do with it. Especially when it has the variety that this has. Uncle Strange is here, the strangest of uncles. Welcome, Unc. Great to have you on the stream. And if you're looking right now at this level, you can see how Raleigh is affected by the weather. The wind directions and the rain changes. You end up with some knockback, and once it starts going forward, you end up with a wind gust that will propel Raleigh forward and kill you. If you're trying to land on a bubble, you really do need a dadgum duck. Ryan from Castlemania Games is here. Welcome, Castlemania Games! A fun site to shop on, as well as an actual human being and individual. Always some neat goodies on Castlemania site. Scored a retro trio there that I've enjoyed having very much. Again, yeah, those HD ready clone consoles are so handy to have. So it's one of those things to where not everybody has access to original hardware, but you can get something you can put a cartridge in and have some fun with it. And there's lots of folks making that easier and easier to do every day. Apparently we're getting a Madhouse raid. It's not just Unc showing up, ladies and gentlemen. So first of all, Unc, thank you for that. Much love. Elwin Blake has joined us. And I'm sitting here looking at the chat and I blow right off the... got careened right off the edge. Catherine Full Body. You know, I've never got to play Catherine. I've seen so many full, beautiful copies of that game and never picked it up. And it's obviously a publisher that I like a lot, but just never got around to it. That's one of those circles that says "to it" on it. It's around to it. But I've heard nothing but good. And you're going to hear nothing but good about this game tonight. Again, if you are just joining us, we're playing Raleigh the Raccoon on the original equipment. And Optimon, creator of Raleigh, is here in the live stream for any of those that have questions about this platformer that you are witnessing tonight. And for any of you that just will not be able to sleep until you secure your own copy of this game, there are links to the aforementioned sites on where you can acquire this game in the description of not only this video, but the review that I did. This is where it gets tough. We gotta have a duck. So we're gonna backtrack here and get a duck. Really, Raleigh? Oh, and then that duck's gonna take off. Look at him. Oh, and now the wind's gonna change. I'm dead. I'm so dead. Dadgummit. Poor Raleigh. Get that duck. Oh, we got the wind at our backs right now. Take advantage of that. Yeah, we needed a duck right there. We're going to lure this duck all the way out here. And the rain's calmed down. It's falling straight. Oh, and now we got some oomph. We got to get that halfway point. Boom. Not just dead. Dadgum dead. Linda the Gamer Girl has joined us. Welcome, LTGG, to our Tuesday night live stream. Great to have you here. We are live with some Raleigh. And again, Optimon, creator of this fantastic project, is here for all your Q&A needs. And Raleigh is down to 4 hearts. Not what Raleigh wants done. I did not mean to shoot that raccoon turd. And the thing is I'm going to need it because the bosses really start to push back at this point. Ooh, okay, Raleigh. Not there. Let's get up here. Oomph, that was a jump. Ah, but you want to get the flowers. Ice cream cone. You know, I'm not even going to tangle with that armadillo, whatever he is. He's just going to hurt me. Now, I will say this. I have a question. A, why do I suck? B, it's a two-parter. Are the different colored flowers any indication of what you could get? Is there any coding, like a certain color range of flowers only gives you this range of power-ups? Or is it just totally random? They're just different colors because that's fun. That's my question. Got Pikmin 2 for GameCube for 75 cents. That's fantastic. I've only got the first one. And that's because I'm holding out for a deal like that. I don't pay retail. Eventually you find Grandma McGee at her yard sale, and they're about a quarter each. And you just pick them all up and say, thanks, Grandma, and you're good. Eventually, your treasure does become another man's trash. Whoop. Can this character shoot anything? Yes, he has his little raccoon turd balls he shoots out, but they're limited. And so, again, I talked a lot in the review about resource conservation, and it's a big thing, because there's a lot of bosses you can just roll right over if you can shoot them. But if you're out of shots, then you got to go toe-to-toe and trade licks. The blue ones drop the power-ups. The brown ones drop ammo. Okay. And then this one's green. Oh, I didn't get it. Raleigh does have a happy soundtrack. A little menacing, but still upbeat. Come on, Raleigh, get up there. The green ones drop. Okay. Toward a 1-up. That makes sense. Oh, that rain is killing me. I'll tell you something, Fox. Alright, I got super jump, Raleigh. Oh, come on, Raleigh. Oh, that was the perfect shot. Deadeye Jackson the snake right there just took me right out of the sky like it wasn't nothing. I got bested by a snake. Halfway point. Oh, come on now. Patricia Jacobs has joined us and says, what's up? What's up is Raleigh the Raccoon tonight. He's up, and that's all that's up right now. We're just checking out some raccoony goodness. And I just fell off the clip again. And we have Optimon here, creator of this game, to answer questions. You see the next 3 GP on Crash Team Racing. I've got to get back to that, and I've got to get back to Team Sonic Racing. Moving into this house is going to be the death of me. Not just rain pushing me off ledges. Because, man, I haven't had time to just sit down with games that are so recent that we've looked at right here on the show. And it's not going to get any easier because this month we've also got a plethora of RPGs that I'm covering, as well as a new Ghost Recon and COD, because they just can't wait till November to release the frickin' shooters anymore. So, talk about dogpiling you. We're at stage 6. Almost got back to 7 where we were at. And that little bit of intel on the rolling, I just got to get better on my rolling game, and eventually I will take out that other one. But 16 stages, which to me is a great number, but it does indicate that if it scales the way it's been scaling, that by 16, you're going to need to have your skills dialed in. And odds are you will. But this is me we're talking about. I'm not the best of the best. I think why that is, too, is I've always spread myself too thin in gaming. I bought so many games, even back when I was a kid, that I never sat there and just... Oh, we haven't seen a balloon tonight. It's about time to see a balloon. And it's a great time for a balloon. I spent so much time on so many different games. I'm, average at all, master at none. I say that. Now, I can speedrun some Double Dragon and some Bionic Commando, some games that aren't common to be seen with that kind of thing happening on them, but this is something I really want to make sure that I finish and get through, especially if we ever see a sequel. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you end up with so many games, and it's not like there's not more coming out every 5 seconds, and it's just hard to keep up. Whoop. Using a little bubble tactic there. I did beat Rambo live. That was a 30-year baby put to bed right there. Rambo First Blood Part 2 on the Sega Master System is no slouch. One does not simply beat that game. I got that game when I was 7. I'm 41 years old. I cried at the end, and I'm not ashamed of it. I was emotional. And it was so silly because I'm streaming it, right? Knowing I'm not going to beat the game. I'm just showing everybody, hey, this was me at 7 years old. This, Hang On, and Safari Hunt. And I looked up in the middle of the chat, and I was just like, I'm having a perfect game of Rambo. And I didn't want to say anything, but I look up in the chat, and I'm having a perfect game of Rambo. Again, one does not have that. And you have to have that. It's one of those games that if you die, you're done. Start over. Because if you lose all those power-ups, you're just done. Now, you will die at the end, but that's when it's time to start dying. If you die before then, you've shot your... you're done. So, we did it. On the last life I had left, walking through that barricade to the end, and it was over. And oh, I can't tell you. That was... Now I need to try that Rambo game. You totally do. Rambo First Blood Part 2 on the Master System. I want that halfway point. John Phillips is in the house. And I don't know if I told you this about his channel when he was in here last, but dude's got some really good hip-hop on his channel, and as an MC, I know about that kind of thing. So, I check all y'all's channels out. Don't think I don't. I look at everybody and see what they're up to, and Yeah, he's got some really good music on there, some really good beats. It's been a long time since I've produced anything I've done or anything anyone else has done. Boy, I'd like to get back to doing that. I miss being on the mic and being in the studio. I miss not falling down holes, too. Have I seen Rambo Last Blood? Yes. We went to see that last week. And Rambo... You know, at Stallone's age, I just don't see how he kicks that much butt, but he does. And I don't think he will, but he could do another one. Now, he probably can't, but he could do another Creed. I think he's done with both, though, and that's fine if he is. I mean, God, he's given us so many films in both those franchises. I can't ask for anything more. Stallone has earned the right to retire. Yeah, it was a gore fest. I mean, it was like, oh my God. Don't make Rambo angry. That's not a good thing to do. All he wanted was something to eat. Double J, thank you so much for coming by and for that donation, brother. Always great to have you on the scene here on Tuesday night live streams. We are just about out of time here, but man, I will tell you, it has been so great to get a look at this with everybody, and it's so great that so many of you made it out for this edition, because this was one I really wanted to share with you. You know, I play all kinds of games on the show, but this is one that is really neat. Yeah, and the snake's going to the mat. The original First Blood is still my personal favorite. Yeah, you know, 1 and 2 were just epic and epic soundtracks. 3 was like, whoa, kind of pushing the boundary there. And then when they did a new Rambo, it was off the hook. And then this new Last Blood was just like, oh my God, okay. I am 43 with some challenges, and I am still bested by Pac-Man. But I'm very proud to have beaten Pitfall. You know what? That is cool. And they did some neat contests with Pitfall back in the 80s where you had to mail in your scores and stuff. I'll do a video on that because I've got some printed ads from some of those back in the day. And I'd be interested to see if anybody can best those times or if anybody ever even did. Oak City, thanks for coming by. Yeah, I believe we've reached the old end of file marker on our time for tonight. But I want to thank Optimon not only for the opportunity to review this game and to bring this to you, but for being here tonight to answer our questions, because I think we know a little bit more about ROLLIE in the background than we initially did, just from the reviews and other places that you might have seen this game. And what's more, you definitely know where you can get yourself a copy of this, digital, physical, whatever it is you want to get. I love it. It's really cool. And again, you know, this is stuff that I want to see more of, and I can only imagine what you'll come up with next. I mean, that's really, really neat. If you're still in here, or if you're watching the recap later on, I hope that you get to drop a like on this video. Hope that you did like this video. And most importantly, if you have not already done so, hope that you're going to subscribe to the Emceemur Show. Be a part of Mur-Nation. We'll rise out of all the fantastic things we do right here on the show. You need to be a part of it. Make sure that you smack that notification bell so you are always the first to know when new content goes live, because you know that I love making it for you. Fantastic stuff coming your way. We got new live vlog episodes, new vintage computing episodes, new video game places in the 90s episodes. So much stuff coming your way right here on the show. I just need time to produce it all. By God, we're getting moved in here slowly but surely. You can see the progress in the back. We got the Swedish furniture going up by the second here, and games piling in. Just so much going on, but so much fun stuff coming your way, including but not limited to this great game. And this was fun to take a look at with you guys. Again, I want to thank every single last one of you for being here tonight. And until next week, signing off for now is Emceemur, and I will see each and every one of you again next time.